Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Welcome to the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast, a show where I interview guests that teach, motivate, and inspire. Today, we're going to be talking about fitness and music as I am joined by Trea. Trea, the fit artist, is the founder of Next World Fitness. He is a fitness coach as well as a music artist, musician himself, and he basically is a fitness coach for artists, creators, and entertainers, and he helps them, stay at the top of their game. So we're going to be talking to him about everything that he's up to, straight out of Jackson, Mississippi. Trea, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Why don't you start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, I'm living in Jackson, Mississippi. I'm from a small town called Drew. It's a little delta town, pretty much where they raise agriculture and crops and stuff like that. So not a really lot going on there. But I'm here in the capital now, Jackson, Mississippi. 38 years old. And I, just I guess a little bit about me. I like to play basketball, draw, write, make music, have fun, and so forth. And what I do is I am an online fitness coach and trainer. Been doing it over a decade now, and I'm specializing in helping artists and entertainers sculpt their fit masterpieces. So that's specifically music artists, musicians, actors, and models, and in not only helping with their wellness, but also enhancing their artistry as well.
Okay, well, tell the listeners how you actually got into music and how you got into, online fitness or being a fitness coach.
Okay. Which one you want to know about first?
Whichever one you want to tell us first.
Okay. All right. So how did I get into music? Well, I was more, I was raised in the church. My grandmama, she was a preacher, and her son took the mantle, and my uncle. And so I've been in, church and so forth all my life growing up. And pretty much my mom, she was in that lifestyle too as well, but that being her mom. And she basically, used to go around singing door to door to people and stuff like that, singing in the choir and all that. So going with her all the time, singing in the choir. My cousins, they all knowing how to play instruments from just listening. They didn't really know how to read notes and so forth. So a lot of I absorbed that early on. They didn't never teach us how to play. I always wanted to play the organ or the piano and the drum. They ain't never teach us how to play, but I can definitely beatbox and pen tap on the desk or something like that. I'm your man on that, but definitely wanted to learn that. But for that, I would say that was my first introduction to making to music and so forth. But it didn't really actually become a dream of mine until like hip hop, which is my first introduction to actually hearing that and wanting to make music and so forth. I would say a little bit about where I'm gonna go back a little bit more. When I was in elementary school, I used to write these literary works or whatever for school, and they would tell us what to write. At the time, my grandma had passed, and I was 6 years, like maybe 3 years ago, 3 years passed after she passed. But during that time, it was like I was missing her, and most of my stuff was about her. And the teacher was like, I was writing poems, I was writing paragraph or essay in the essay type format and everything about her or to her. And the teacher was like, well, you writing so much about your grandma, man. Like, that's where she was like, I bust out the crying and say, like, you don't tell me what what I'm supposed to be doing and so forth. And I think that was the start of my writing. And the teacher, she kind of, she backed off, but she did let my mom know about that she did let her know that like he has a talent. So she noticed how I was writing poems and how I was putting feeling in everything. So that's kind of like the spark right there. But growing up in church, I didn't really hear a lot of hip hop growing up. So when I got a little older, maybe like 14, 15 years old, when I started hearing hip hop, that's when I like, okay, these poems I'm writing, I definitely can write that to music and so forth. Cause that's really what it is, poetry and motion or poetry and with music tied to it. So that's when it kind of kicked off there. And I always kind of wanted to do it. But like growing up how it is, in that religious background, I didn't really think I really didn't think it could be proved of. I guess I was just looking at what they were saying and so forth, and not really what I wanted. But and then later on, coming into now, I would say up to until 2019 when COVID happened, I just started, man, look, where I had a whole lot of time on my hand, I said, look, I always wanted to write, make music and so forth. So I'm just gonna go in and start writing. And that's when it kind of like started right there from there to actually getting into the full, actually wanting to do this and pursuing this in a in a broad way. And the second question, what was the second question? How did I get started with online fitness coaching? Right?
Yeah, how did you get into online fitness, especially for artists and stuff like that?
Okay. What especially for art? Well, I would start with the how I got into personal training. So I didn't always start out as an online fitness coach and trainer. I was more so in person, where I started at the YMCA. A little bit before that, I was always a pretty much an avid gym goer, going all the way back with my dad. He was pretty much of a big bodybuilder back then and so forth. So going with him, he taught me a lot and like got me my first weight set when I was 15. And a little bit after that, like he was all right, so he was basically like diagnosed with cancer on my 19th birthday. And later on after that, he kind of even got more on a health tip and so forth, and then got the whole family into into a gym membership. So that was my first gym membership at that time. And you can just say the rest is history. He told me what to do and so forth, and I was kind of going by myself. But the rest of history from there, I started working out, kind of like what most people were doing. Go in 2 weeks and then next 2 or 3 weeks you don't see me in there. It started off slow, but when I got into it more, I started seeing, results, and people started flocking to me, asking me questions, wanting to work out with me and giving me compliments and stuff like that. And it wasn't like later on until a woman I was at work working at Levi's, and she was like, "Man, you doing all this working out, man? You should just become you ever thought about personal training?" And at that time, I didn't. Looked it up, researched to see if it sounded like something like I can do, and then that's when it started from there. And my first, let's say, start towards it, I wanted to kind of get my feet wet, where I would go into like work at a gym first and start as a trainer there, working on a gym as an employee. But at the time in Mississippi, we wasn't really a lot of gyms going around, and then wasn't a lot of folks hiring. So I was kind of forced into starting on my own, which I wanted to do anyway. But it was just at a point I just wanted to get my name out there, get some exposure and experience, and then branch out. But it didn't happen that way. So I had to start on my own, and then from there, we went into I got a deal, like independent contractor deal with YMCA, where they let me train there, and as long as my clients was members and so forth. And I can say it started there. So started with one-on-one training. Then later on branched out. I started doing group training. Had my own spot for about a year for a little while, and you can kind of say I was always online training. I have a certain app that I give to clients, even though they not seeing me. When they not seeing me in person, I still have something for them to do on their own time and stuff. Excuse me, but that was until like 2019 when I fully online, when everything happened. A little bit before COVID, when I was starting to go online and everything. And then from there, now how I got into actually working with the artists and entertainers, so to speak, is they always tell you got to niche down. It's about, if you're going into, certain business and niche down who you targeting and helping and so forth. Now at the time, it was more so people 25 to 55 men and women looking to lose a little weight, maybe get gain tone a little bit, or gain some muscle, get stronger, or have some energy. And it started right there. But as I start like actually finding a actual niche, I thought about, as they were saying, is either what you are passionate about or it's what you're going through. So I chose what I'm passionate about. So writing, being creative, that's what I'm really passionate about. So music and so forth, in the whole, that's what I do. So those things that I told you, music, musician, actors, models, and music artists who I'm looking to help, those are all four things I wanted to do growing up and so forth. So, and that's like, I would like you, when you look at it, how they go around, they are constantly on the road, they constantly traveling, they doing, it's hard for them to get to a gym at times because they traveling so much and they on the road. So they are really just uh, delegated to whatever's around them for us eating. So it ain't necessarily healthy, but it's close by. And so with what I do with online definitely can help that a lot. And the program that I got set up helps in a great way where they can be able to not only still keep up with their fitness and health, but also enhance their artistry as well in the process because they are, it is able to more accessible, and I make it where it's more towards that busy lifestyle or that demanding lifestyle that artists and entertainers have.
So, as a music artist, talk to the listeners about how you feel that creativity and well-being is, connected.
Well, your body is the instrument. So it is when you are constantly, like I said again, you constantly on the road, you're on stage, jumping up and down, you're moving, you're singing, and so forth. All that can be taking a toll if you're not really treating your body the right way. And then another thing too is if like it expounds on it, the more healthy you are, the more fit you are, the more you're able to do things longer. You'll be able to be on stage, have more energy. Is give you that mental clarity, especially when you after you don't work out that good 30-minute session and so forth. You feel a whole lot better, and that definitely give you that ease, lower stress, and which in turns helps you to create more at a higher level or produce at a higher level in your craft.
So, what do you feel like some of the biggest mistakes that artists, creators, and entertainers make, and give some tips on how they can fix them?
Biggest mistake is I think is they think that fitness got to take like an hour or they gotta clear out their whole day to just work out, and it's not like that. I mean, it's just like anything else that you do with your day to day. So you got schedule, you got schedules and appointments you got to make. So it's all about you are scheduling that time in, and it don't have to be like I said a 30-minute workout, hour workout. It can be short as like a 10-minute hit workout or a 20-minute workout here and there. It can be whether you and using just your body weight, not no really need any equipment. You can be on stage, you can be on a tour bus, you can be practically anywhere and still get that fitness in. And then the other thing I would say too is like for is the eating. Like I said, you are pretty much when you're hungry and you constantly doing all these appointments, so it's kind of hard to get to said food. I would say more, and most time it be like where that they end up just getting what's around them, or rationale goes out the door, and they just end up eating whatever because they just want to get satisfied for us because they hungry. So I would say basically things they can do is travel with light snacks and so forth until they can get to a certain meal. It don't have to be anything cooked, but just be really like cognizant of what you're doing and putting in your body, because food is fuel, and the way you fueling your body is the way it would definitely show out in how you doing and everything else for us, your career, your life, and everything else.
You talked about the tour bus and the stage. Talk about how performers can build stamina when, they are on stage in the studio and all that good stuff like that.
Okay. Well, yeah, basically like I was saying earlier with the hit style workouts, a good quick one, like say for instance, we doing you can like say push up for 30 seconds, then go back, run for the next 30 seconds. That's a That's like a full body exercise right there, or you can do it like where you push up and then squat for 30 seconds or something like that. There's really just staying active, not being present, like being present in what you are doing. A lot of people, a lot of artists entertaining, they are sitting down constantly, whether they playing an instrument or they writing something. So got to get up every like 30, get up every often. I ain't gonna just say every 30 minutes, but get up often and be active, whether you're just going for a little quick walk and then come back, sit down, get back to work. But you want to make sure you are active and it doesn't take an hour to do it. You can do it in spurts, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and all that adds up. The body is smart, so the body will process all those times you did work out, and you'll still be benefited from it than not doing anything at all.
Well, what's the difference, as far as fitness and, challenges that performers and creators face versus the average person?
Well, I would say they it's more prevalent for them. Like everybody needs health and fitness, need to work out to some degree and be healthy to some degree. But with artists and entertainers, they are constantly using their bodies in a certain way than the normal or the average people do. And also too, they are constantly in the appearance, their appearance need to be a certain way. Now, somebody just working at a grocery store, not to knock on the people working at a grocery store, but they ain't got to necessarily worry about their appearance too much or how they perform and anything like that. As long as they doing the job at a reasonable level for the manager and so forth, they good. But when it comes to a artist and entertainer, is they body is they whole thing. So is they certain for as like an actor if they trying to get a certain role, they got to look a certain way or they got to perform a certain way. A singer, they definitely have with their lung capacity and so forth. For when they are improving their stamina, endurance, and energy and so forth. It helps a lot with that. So they gotta look at their body as an instrument to as an instrument, excuse me, to be able to see and do they jobs at a high level and for the long haul as well. So I would say it's more paramount for the artists and entertainers to actually live a fit lifestyle because that's what they bread and butter lives.
Let's take a quick break.
Okay, everybody, it's Michael E. Cullen II.
And I'm Sesame and Carta from the All Too Real 2 podcast. We're passionate about movies, TV, and pretty much all things pop culture.
Dive into the chaos of failed sitcoms, direct-to-video sequels, and the quirky realms of cinema and TV.
Join us every Thursday for your dose of All Too Real 2 entertainment.
We'll guide you through debates like whether Howard the Duck qualifies as a superhero.
Ponder if Larry the Cable Guy could be the new Rock or Schwarzenegger.
Discover if some shows and movies should have stayed in the cutting room.
Ever heard of a sitcom featuring that dictator with the funny mustache? Well, we watched it.
We're dedicated to unraveling the peculiarities of pop culture, sometimes with awesome guests.
So, if you're into the eccentric world of pop culture,
listen and subscribe to All Too Real 2.
Available wherever you find podcasts
and on Age of Radio.
Well, mindset also plays a role in this as well. So talk about some of the mindset shifts that, creators can develop for, to be successful for long-term success.
The biggest one I would say the all or nothing approach. And I know we go all in on our artistry and so forth, especially when we writing a song, creating a song, or however or whatever artwork we creating, we go all in and so forth. I would say with the fitness, it don't go in with all or nothing approach. And that's where it'll be grounds to where you will stop doing it. And what I mean by all or nothing approach meaning like, okay, I'm gonna do this an hour every day, excuse me, for it's working out, or I'm gonna eat like this and so forth. And then you do that, I'm gonna do this, stop drinking alcohol, cold turkey and so forth. And I'm gonna do this for 6 months straight. And then first month in, they end up, doing maybe first 2 weeks they do good. Then that third week they start falling off and then kind of get discouraged, get upset, ashamed a little bit or however, and then they end up stopping. So it's the little things that count. So maybe just start drinking a little bit more water than you are drinking sodas. Going for a walk a little bit, like say if you start going for a walk if you haven't been going for a walk, but let's say if you are going for a walk, let's say you doing it 10, 20 minutes, do that once or two times a week, and then increase from there. Little small thing that you can do and implement and going forward, and that can definitely goes a long way. And then once you start actually making that a habit, you can go on to the next thing, and then that kind of builds and snowballs from there, and then you'll be living a more fit and healthier lifestyle in the process of that. And then that's how it helps to get it ingrained and more discipline to it, because we often like when we brush our teeth and we don't think to do it, we just get to do it because it's already in the routine. So when you get into that routine and that kind of that motion, it will come a lot easier to you because you already been doing it and put it in your daily routine. So it's just basically taking out replacing the old and bad habits with new habits, basically.
So tell us about, you founded Fit Masterpiece Collabs and you have a podcast. So tell us about both those.
All right, appreciate it. All right, so Fit Masterpiece Collab is under the umbrella of Next World Fitness, which is my nutrition and fitness coaching business. So Fit Masterpiece Collab is basically where we give people who might not be ready for the coaching yet, or and is basically where we give that guidance but they still want to live some, get fit and need advice on it. So that's where we guide them and everything on that. But not only that, it is also a community of like-minded others artists and entertainers and creatives that's in the group as well, that will be where they can not only just get on it, get towards their health goals and be able to share that and motivate each other from that, but they also can be able to share their ideas, network, communicate with each other and build other opportunities and open up new doors that they never thought possible and everything from that. And Fit Masterpiece Collab. And for as the podcast, just started that. And the podcast is in the similar to Fit Masterpiece Collab, where it's called Sculpting Create, and it's basically where we are doing interviews with other artists and entertainers and talking about their creative journey, they process, the creative process, their journey, they story, what they got going on and so forth, and how they fit their mental and physical health into the whole spectrum of things and stuff like that. And also, we will be talking with other fitness and wellness professionals as well that helps in these regards for its mental health or fitness and other aspects and stuff like that. So it's all both of them together, all to help the artists and entertainers in their physical, personal, and career growth.
Well, talk about what makes your program, your method of training different from the traditional programs or trainings that's out there.
Well, just as you said, it's not really traditional. I'm not. Most of my exercise are unorthodox. I don't follow a traditional trend or so forth in the fitness realm. Now, it do have some traditional things, like when we go to the gym, some stuff you just can't get away from. But I do it still in my own style. But I would say the way I deliver my work, especially the ones where it's on the go, I do very fun, challenging games that you can do anywhere, no matter where you're at home or on the road. And it's done in a hit style where you still can definitely get a little definition. You definitely get that energy and stamina pumped up no matter where you are. And then when you're able to get to a gym, we definitely can match where you at so you can get the workout, so you can be able to, no matter, like I said, again, at the gym or home, we be able to maximize what, your goals, no matter what you're doing or what your situation is. So being it like, and I would say that's a lot different from being in person, because you gotta be present with the with in-person training, because I call myself a fitness coach than a personal trainer. So fitness coaching and training is what I do. But with the in-person training, that's all you're doing. You're meeting with that trainer 30 minutes, an hour. And with artists and entertainers constantly traveling, they might be stationary 2 months, 3 months, where they can work with that trainer. But then after that, they got to get on the road. Now they ain't got access to that trainer. So what makes it different for me? I'm in your back pocket, where no matter where they go, where they traveling at, what they doing, I can be able to help them and be in contact with them. They can contact me, anything that they have, and any problems or challenges that they have, and I can definitely help them in a more effective way, an efficient way, because of that, because I'm ingrained into their routine as well.
Talk about any upcoming projects that you're working on that listeners need to be aware of.
For is musically, or are you talking about for
Oh,
business wise?
anything.
Oh, okay. The biggest thing right now is that, like I said, sculpt and create right now. So that's what I'm getting on. Just did my third interview and getting a few of that. So hopefully we'll be able to get the first episode out this week. So I would say that'll be the next big thing going from there. And then going from there, like I said, going to with to evolve Fit Masterpiece Collab a little bit more, other than just the community and the fitness guidance and so forth. Well, I definitely want to add it where we adding more towards the networking aspect, where they can be able to meet other people like them or other services that they need. So you might be able to, like, say, okay, the artist is looking for a music artist is looking for somebody to make their beats, or they looking for a videographer, and I can have other creators that's in this network or in the Fit Masterpiece Collab that's in there that can provide that, or I can definitely make the matchup and say, okay, so and so is looking for this, and you can provide that. So I think y'all be a good matchup and so forth. So that's one thing, and then also too, providing courses and so forth as well in the Fit Masterpiece Collab as well. So that way it's do it on your own, but it's where they can be able to ingrain fitness in their lifestyle for the long haul and learn how to do it effectively, and where they can keep doing this for a lifetime, or making it a lifestyle other than just some little phase. And they can be able, but they got the knowledge to keep going and to keep it up, and whether it be weight loss, muscle gain, or whatever. I would say
Okay.
those two things I'm looking for what's next and everything.
Okay. Well, so people can keep up with everything that you're up to. Throw out your contact info.
Okay, well, they can definitely look. Most of my socials is on www.nextworldfitness.com, NEXTWORLD fitness.com. I'm on TikTok, under TikTok, Trea Fit Art, TREADA Fit Artist, as well as Facebook. You can find me on there. Like I said, pretty much all my links is on there. You can find me there. And that's, I think that, yeah, that's pretty much it for, like I said, you go on my website, my links is there. But I'm on TikTok, Instagram at Next World Fitness. Let's see, Facebook, my business profile is Next World Fitness, but the personal profile is Trey86. And let's see what else. That's it. I'm on Twitter. Twitter is at NEXTWORLD Fitness. And like I said TikTok, isn't that? Yeah, there's all my links, but you can go on my website and get most of those already.
Okay. We'll close this out with some final thoughts. Maybe if that was something I forgot to talk about that you would like to touch on, or any final thoughts you have for the listeners.
Um, I would say be cognizant. Think about your body. Think of yourself as a brand and your body as an instrument. And to do what you do at an all-time high, is you got to make sure your instrument is intact and fully functional. And the rest will flow from there. And then that will help you to be able to, not to say they're not thriving, but they help you to thrive at a even more all-time high, and a long, fruitful career.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, nextworldfitness.com. Please be sure to check out Trey and everything that he's up to. If you know of any artists, entertainers, or creators that could use, some fitness and Get what Trea's offering. Follow, rate, review, share it to as many people as possible. Jump on your favorite podcast app. Check out the show, share it, leave us a review. If you have any guest or suggestion topics, Curtis Jackson 1978 at att.net is the place to send them. Thank you for listening and supporting the show. Trea, thank you for all that you do. Thank you for joining me.
Man, thank you for having me, man. It's been a blast.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.